Hey there, hi there, ho there, hello there. My name is Adam and you're with me at my shop, Kaputy Inc. Today's adventures include rebuilding my wagon I call the War Wagon. It's the first wagon I ever built. Big knobby tires on it and stuff. We're going to go through that, decide whether we want to keep the tires. We're going to totally revamp the front steering. Right now it's got a really complicated system of carrier bearings and so on and so forth, and it just doesn't work good, not to mention the front axle is a straight axle that's tied together, so the wheels, when you turn, obviously the inside wheel is going to turn slower than the outside wheel. Then you don't get correct Ackerman angle. Do I actually know what that means? Kind of, but it sounds good. So we're going to go over that, decide whether we got the wheels we want on it. We are looking at making it a dually. I think that's the way to go on this one. We're also going to build a seat for it. After we're done, decide whether we're going to clean up the frame and paint it or what we'll do there. And then I think we'll make a handle from scratch. Try and do something cool, kind of ratty looking. It all depends on what I decide to do with the frame. We'll let it talk to us as we go. So let's get started. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever the fuck else you want to be classified as. Retro Flyer, we call it the War Wagon. Pretty badass little rig there. Some engineering issues I ran into before I graduated from MIT, right? Anyways, the back axle is just straight, just uses some simple down tubes and sits on pillow bearings, or I think that's what those are called, pillow bearings. We just got them flipped upside down. They're greasable. It's a solid shaft. The wheels just slide over the axle. I think I had them like tack welded on there. I don't exactly remember how I did that, but the front axle is where the problem lies here. You can see when you turn the wheel, it'll actually lift that one tire up off the ground, and this axle is tied together left to right. No bueno. I mean, it's usable, but it could be better. Not to mention I have like way too many steering bearings and back things. I was trying to steal some of the idea off of the original wagon. It works, but it could be better. We actually like to take this thing and tie it up. It doesn't have a handle on it because we use it as a hitch. We tie it up behind the mini bike, and we would give tours on it. It's a pretty sweet little deal. We put the SMV sign on the back, and we got heavy hauler on there for my fat ass. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to leave the rear suspension alone. We might touch up some of the welds, and I might add a couple of gussets here and there just to do some dimple die work, something like that. The front, though, we're going to revamp. We're going to get some steering knuckles. I got them on order from eBay. They're go-kart steering knuckles, and then we'll just make a whole drop-down section there and just have a straight tube across there, and we'll weld the knuckles on each side. So first things first, we got to get the old shit cut off. So let's get started. Alright, I got this bar cut loose here. Not super proud of the welds I got under here. We'll be cleaning those up a bit. But this was plenty strong. It was able to hold me and my formerly fat friend Joff. That's Joff with a K. Anyways, we got that off. So now we're going to get this unbolted. And hopefully this will be ready to cut off or break off. Not really sure how I got it on there. I guess we'll find out. Alright, like I said, prior to me graduating from MIT, that M-I-G-H-T be a lie. Anyways, this is what I built. It's got this little up frame here. There's potential that this could get reused. We'll have to see when the spindles get here because we want to set the ride height. Wanted to have just like a little rake, a little hot rodish rake to it, but not much. Just enough for the tires. We got to make sure the tire's clear when you turn too. So all that stuff will be brought into play. This was a good idea. This kind of simulated what the original Red Ryder wagon had. And then this back deal here, they just use a bolt. If you look at a Red Ryder wagon, you can kind of get a glimpse of what I was trying to do here, but it worked, but it could have been better. So that's what we're gonna try and do. Watch this, you're gonna lean in, you're gonna go. Action.
axle.
Thanks. That's my buddy Jake. That's Jake with an R. He didn't go to prison, by the way. All right, so we went to the local store. We found some wheels here. They don't perfectly match. They're the same size, same wheel. They're just painted a different color as the front ones. Orange should be a nice little touch. We're gonna go ahead and 86 these. We got an axle and everything, so let's get this taken apart. We got some basic pillow blocks here for a 3/4 inch shaft. We're gonna put that in the spots there where we might have to re-drill some holes, but then we'll start working on getting our duals on. Here we have Jake with an R polishing up a shaft. He is what you would call an expert in this area. All right, right here we're gonna set up kind of a jig, and we're gonna make our front axle here. We're gonna take and pull this part off the spindle here. You looking thick from the back. Yo, you know you got a fat ass, right? All right, here it is, our dually wagon, kind of in a solid mock-up stage here. We need to order a couple more locking collars. Just got the one, I thought I had more. Apparently I don't, or I can't find them. So we gotta get a couple more of these bad boys. That way we can do a final set on our wheel gap. It'll make sure we have enough space between the wheels and the frame here. And then, lock the outside one. We'll make sure it's flush. It'll sit flush on there like that. We'll get the stickers off the wheels too. We took our silver wheels that we were using for mock-up off the front, tucked them on the inside and the back. Little semi-truck trick there when you're trying to look fancy, but you can't afford all aluminum wheels. You tuck the steels on the inside. Costs you a little weight though. I don't get it. Whatever. Good for resale value, I guess. We got to mock up we got to figure out some steering here. I think these tabs are going to get a slight bend up, which there's plenty of room to do so. We'll just make a pivot point here, back and forth. There we go. We got our stance just right. We got a 1/2 inch of rake, front to back. I love it, love it. Other than that, figure out what we're going to do with the frame. Maybe get a powder coat it, or maybe just leave it the way it is. I don't know. It kind of has that vintage rusted look. We'll probably make a new handle. I don't think I'm going to stick with this here, but yeah. So that's our mock-up, and I think that'll do it for the first part of this video, or this first video. We'll make a second one, doing the finishing, steering, setting our axle clearances, making a seat, and seat and handle, and whether or not we decide to powder coat, paint the frame, or just leave it in bare steel, let it rust up for that rat rod look. So, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and check us out on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/Kaputy Inc. It's right here. Yeah, check it out.